please subscribe to the channel, like the video, drop your comments down below, share the videos and clips that you see on YouTube with your mates or anyone that you think is interested in football or Arsenal or United supporter. You never know, it might be something they're interested in watching. And for those who listen on Spotify, Apple, or any of the podcasting platforms, please follow. Give us a 5-star review if you can. All of that stuff helps. We've been seeing a particular uptick in engagement recently, so we really appreciate it. And try and keep that going so we can get better engagement and help the algorithms give other people the opportunity to watch and listen. So much appreciated. But all right, let's go on to the Arsenal section then. We'll quickly go through the confirmed ins and outs, which I think should be really quick. Calafiori's been confirmed. He's holding the shirt. You've got the videos. You've got all of your male fans talking about his face card and all this rubbish online. It's been cracking me up, man. So I was expecting it from, the like OnlyFans girl football fans that you see, the shameless ones, to be all on his knob. But yeah, some of your male fans are loving him. I get it. He's a good looking guy. So it's not without a reason, but it's been funny. So he's been confirmed. He's in. Smith Rowe out. I don't think he's been holding up the Fulham shirt, but we've had a here we go. The deal's basically done now. 27 million plus 7 million add-ons. Are you happy with those deals, John? So we've talked about them to death, so this should be a quick one. But
yes,
confirmation's in.
Happy. The only thing that I'll say is I'm happy with the Smith Rowe amount. 27 plus 7. I'm happy with that. Yeah.
I think that's a decent deal. It obviously depends on how easy or hard the add-ons are to do, but I still think even if they aren't that easy, 27's not bad. Good luck to him, man. Fulham's a decent club, very underrated, I think. Marco Silva and how they play. So I think he'll be good for them. Let's go on to the rumours then, because you've actually had some. So rumours in, you've been linked with two similar players, really, both from the Euros winning Spain squad. Mikel Merino of Real Sociedad, used to play at Newcastle, very early days. He also played at Dortmund. And then Fabian Ruiz, who was one of the midfielders of the tournament, to be honest. Plays for PSG, used to play at Napoli. What do you make of those links? And out of the two, it looks like you would get one or the other, right? They play the same kind of position. Who would you prefer and why?
I want Fabian Ruiz if I have to choose between the two of them. I know Marino's got like the aura of scoring that header and all of the weird coincidences that were occurring on that header
with his dad,
right? I honestly I don't think Mikel Merino improves our team. I think Fabian Ruiz has the possibility to improve our team. I think for Spain, when he was playing, he was kind of playing a little bit further progressed forward. So I'm a little bit, I haven't seen him in that kind of 8 role where he'd be next to a Reiss or somebody else like that. I think obviously in the Spain team, he had a player like Rodri next to him, but it definitely felt like he wasn't playing right next to him. It felt like he was a lot further forward. So he'd kind of more encroach upon that Odegaard space. So I'm a little bit worried there because I'm not sure how well Fabian Ruiz can play that 8, like that not sitting 8, but that less progressed forward 8 role. And on top of that, obviously, I have the big thing about not wanting to just go all in on players because of the Euros, because Fabian Ruiz was relatively stinky for PSG. And obviously that's, again, it's like Ugarte, right? Stinky at PSG is par for the course. Pretty much everyone is stinky at PSG apart from Mbappe, right? So I'm not going to hold that against him too much, but that will kind of affect my judgment of however much we might be willing to pay for him. If I see us go and do a Havertz type-esque situation where we spend 70 million to get Fabian Ruiz, there are going to be some questions. If we get him in for a cheap fee, a 30, 35, maybe 40 million even, I think it's a decent deal. And I think he adds to the strength of the squad. I think, as you said, for Spain, I know Rodri got player of the tournament, but I don't know how, because in my opinion, Fabian Ruiz or Yamal had a much better opportunity or in my opinion, a better case to win that award. So he was good in the Euros, but again, I don't want to overcook it just because someone was good in the Euros, because we've seen that happen many times before and then they end up flopping. So out of the two of them, Fabian Ruiz is my priority, but it's going to depend on that fee. I'm not. If I see above 50 million, I'm going to be a little upset.
Yeah, and I guarantee you, looking at the numbers that PSG are apparently quoting for Ugarte, they're going to quote numbers like that for
Of
Ruiz
course.
because they were trying to get, from what I've read, they were trying to get profit on what they paid on Ugarte last year after the season he just had,
Yeah.
and rightly United have said no chance, mate. So yeah, I agree. I like Ruiz more than Mikel Merino as well, and I think actually stylistically, I think he did really well in that left-sided eight role in the Xhaka role. I think he's got similar attributes really to Xhaka from what we've seen of him and what I've seen of him before the PSG role move. He was really good at Napoli, and he kind of played a bit more deep lying then. Um, but the Euros really showed me a side of him. Again, I don't want to prisoner of the moment on the Euros, but it showed me that he could do it. You're right though.
And he's a
It was
unit
more.
as
It
well.
was yeah. He's
I
massive.
didn't
That's the
realize
other
that
thing.
he's
Like
6'2" as well. So like for
he's
eight, that's good.
yeah. He's got an engine and he's big. So if you know the way the Prem's going and the top teams have gone, Pep's getting all of his all of his many towers and his giant players. He would give you some real size in midfield, which is good.
Yeah.
So I would definitely favour him between the two. I think Marino. I've got to be honest. There's no guarantee that he would nudge Partey out of the team or Jorginho even.
Yeah.
I think he's good, but
Exactly.
I don't think the upgrade
He's
is
not
there
improving
to.
us. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of staying the same level. I still think your current squad
Mm.
would probably be the starters over him, but
Yeah.
Ruiz would probably shake it up. Yeah, let's get into the rumoured outs then. So we talked about Nketiah already. I mean, we can talk about him, but I think he's still being linked with the move to Marseille. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. We don't have to talk about it too much. I think the main one to talk about is Reiss Nelson has been heavily linked with a move to Leicester. I believe it's a loan with an option to buy or an obligation to buy. I guess you probably could have seen this coming, but what do you make of that move? And do you think it would be a good one for him?
Yeah. No, I think it would be a good one for him. I think he deserves to play. I think he's had some great moments for us, and we owe him a lot for what he's done in some of those really big moments for us, especially given the fact that he never really had consistent football at the club. So, I think it's a good move for him. Again, depending on the fee and all that stuff, I think it's a good move for everyone all around. I think he could go and shine in a team like Leicester. I'll be honest with you, especially now that they've kind of got rid of some of their star players. I think it could be his kind of breakout. I fear for Leicester overall, but I don't see why he couldn't be one of the key players to make that team a lot better. So it will depend on the fee. If I'm seeing like 2, 3, 4, 5 million for him, I'm not going to be happy. But if I'm seeing 10, 15, 20, then I think that's a good deal all around.
Yeah, I agree. And also a thing to mention is I think Reiss Nelson was part of the England youth squad that Steve Cooper got to win that World Cup or was a manager under him. Was a player under him, sorry. So that could also be a good fit.
Yep.
I completely forgot for a minute that Steve Cooper was Leicester manager, so I had to just double check it
Good
there.
to see
But
him
yeah,
back as well.
yeah, get old Droopy back in the Premier League, and I like him, man. And I think hopefully he plays a bit more of a progressive style because at Nottingham Forest, I don't know if it was because of the players that he had, but the way they played was really negative, and I don't remember him playing that style with Nottingham Forest in the Championship, and definitely from the games that I saw of the England youth setup when he was there, they played really expansive football. So I
Yeah.
hope if he gets players like Reiss Nelson in with more technical ability, he can start to play some better football for Leicester because Leicester are kind of, I feel like, everyone's unofficial second team because of their fairy tale story and the ownership and sad
Yeah.
passing of their owner and all that kind of stuff. Like I love me a bit of Leicester, so I hope they do well and stay up. And I think getting players like Reiss Nelson will be good for them. I do think the fee will be interesting because I think that Leicester have obviously got FFP stuff, and
Yeah.
even though they've flogged a few players, I think they still got to toe the line. So you may see like a loan with an option to buy or an obligation to buy, which isn't ideal, but I guess that's not also the end of the world because if he has a really good season at Leicester, they don't buy it. They can't buy him because the fee starts. The the asking price that you
FFP
can
stuff.
ask for goes up and stuff, and they can't afford it because of FFP. You
We
could get
sell him
more money
somewhere
from
else.
someone else, yeah,
Yeah.
because he's prem proven or whatever. So yeah, I think it'll be a good move for him. Another one just to quickly mention, but I haven't seen any major links, is because of Calafiori coming in. Surely this means Kiwior's going, right? Like he's got to go somewhere. He's been linked with Italy, so I mean, you wouldn't be sad to see him go, right? I think now that Calafiori's coming, you're covered.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to be majorly sad. I do think that he was kind of on the up there. I think he was getting better, so it's a little bit sad from that perspective that like he looked like a good lad and he did seem to be improving. But again, it's a cold world out here, especially when you're trying to fight for something. So unfortunately, he's just going to be collateral damage, right? And I think if he goes to Italy, that's a great place to be a defender. It's a great place to learn how to defend better.
That's where he came from as well. That's where he came from. That's where he was before, yeah.
Overall, not a bad move. So it would depend, but I think he probably should be the priority in terms of getting rid of somebody in that left back position. Although I'd love to see Zinchenko go too, but
yeah, I was going to argue with you then. I think this is what we talked about before about the Wan-Bissaka thing. It's probably just that Kiwior's got more of a market because Zinchenko stinks.
He can only be played by the best teams because he's kind of a luxury player, right? He doesn't really defend, and he kind of plays a weird role in the middle. Not a lot of like mid-table teams can play that or have the luxury of playing that. So the only market for him is the best teams in every league, and in that case is the teams that have like a really tactical type manager, which is a very small number of clubs. And based off of how poor he was last season, why in the world would they ever come after him? So I think he's going to be one where he just got to run his contract down. He'll be in the dressing room, be an important figure, and that'll be that, and then that'll be the only way that we get rid of him.
Doing huddles,
like Kiwior
has
a bit more use to him, right? He can play centre back, he can play left back. Like he's not some very specialised position. So I think there's more chance we're able to get rid of him.
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely the case because if you were transferred on a big wig at Arsenal and you're looking to sell Kiwior over Zinchenko, it's madness because Kiwior's much more useful to your team and it seems to be okay with being a backup. Yeah. Zinchenko is just a nuisance, and I think he's probably on a big wage as well, which makes it difficult. So probably a lot of people don't want to, buy into a player on that kind of wage. So it ain't easy. But let's wrap up the pod here, Johns. I think this next week or so, probably by the next time we do the pod, we'll have a lot of confirmed ins and outs on both sides. I think the next week is going to be big for a lot of our business. So we probably won't have loads of football to talk about. Although we've obviously got more preseason games that are coming up. Mate. Got Arsenal, Liverpool, we've got United, Liverpool as well. Actually, we're playing Betis, and then we've also got Liverpool after. But I don't think we will have played them by the next time we pod. But yeah, we've got lots of preseason games as well to quickly touch on. But I think it will be the transfer media derby going forward until the Premier League in 3 weeks' time or so. So